Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
Dozens of mountain giants stood tall in the high sky several kilometers away, overlooking a dense jungle in the distance. One could hear the roars of angry monsters in the jungle. At the same time, one could see a brilliant holy light erupting in the jungle. As the battle intensified, large clusters of ancient trees were cut down and hills were destroyed, quickly revealing a very wide battlefield. On the battlefield, there were 3 transcendent-level monsters, dozens of king-level wild monsters. Their opponents were 9 beautiful and holy figures. Although these holy beings did not have the numerical advantage, each of them was at the transcendent level and had extremely powerful combat abilities. In just a short moment, those king-level wild monsters were all killed. In the end, only 3 transcendent monsters were left struggling to survive. But obviously, they couldn't hold on for much longer. Sure enough, in less than 10 minutes, the 3 transcendent monsters were killed one by those holy figures, and their magic cores were taken out. Pure divine and holy aura. They are the ones who killed the green dragon Aldrich. Is it them? A mid-level Saint rank mountain giant doubted. There are only 9 of them, and they are all at the early and mid stages of transcendent. How could they kill Aldrich, who controls the domain? Not to mention killing all the monsters and wild creatures under Aldrich's command. Even if they can split themselves, it's still impossible. Can't you be less foolish? A late-stage Saint rank mountain giant felt a headache, but still explained, I mean the force behind them destroyed Aldrich's territory, not specifically these few individuals. The mid-level Saint rank mountain giant said dissatisfiedly, you didn't make it clear, and you blame me? Silent for a long time. Another mid-level Saint rank mountain giant suddenly said, what race are they? Although it's the first time I've seen them, it feels like I've seen them somewhere. They are obviously not winged people or the swan people of the orc race. I also feel like I've seen them somewhere. The late-stage Saint rank mountain giant searched his memory. Finally, it seemed like he remembered something and said in shock, yes. In the ancient books of our kingdom, there is a record of a legendary race that looks very similar to them. What race? Angels. The late-stage Saint rank mountain giant said, although this race has never appeared in our world, their reputation has long spread from the myriad worlds battlefield. The angel race, all divine beings. They possess the purest divine and holy power and are born as holy spirits. They are beautiful in appearance, arrogant in character, and extremely extreme in their actions. They believe in the creator of light and all things. The angel race, all born with wings. The more wings they have, the higher their status and the stronger their strength. Legend has it that the angel race has 7 18-winged grand archangels, all of whom are divine king-level beings, each of whom can rival the powerful rulers of the myriad worlds battlefield. Hiss! The mountain giants present all took a breath of cold air. If the legend is true, then their mountain giant race is no different from ants in front of the angel race. A mountain giant exclaimed in horror, how could such a terrifying race appear in our world? Would they even care about such a shattered and broken world? I don't know. The late-stage Saint rank mountain giant shook his head, then said, but besides angels, I can't find any other race that is so similar to them. What should we do now? Retreat directly? We can't retreat. The late-stage Saint rank mountain giant said with a serious expression, the angel race is extreme in their actions. They consider any creature that refuses to submit and believe in their creator as heretics. Since they have descended into this world, they will inevitably go to war with our kingdom sooner or later. Advertisement. Another point. It is highly likely that only a few angels have descended into this world. After all, if a legendary army of angels were to descend, they wouldn't just be killing a few demons, but launching a full-scale attack on our world. After a moment of contemplation, the Saint rank late-stage mountain giant continued, these angels should have been summoned to the lower realm by an overlord from another world, and the power of that territory has not fully grown yet. So what? We must strike first. The Saint Rank late-stage mountain giant said, "Once that overlord from another world summons more angels, it will be a great disaster. The elder is right. We must eliminate the threat while it is still in its infancy. Suppress these angels. Destroy the territory of that overlord from another world. Prevent the possibility of more angels descending into our realm." Understood. The group of mountain giants nodded in agreement. Then, without hesitation, led by the three Saint Rank powerhouses, dozens of transcendent-level mountain giants flew towards the distant jungle battlefield like heavy artillery shells. This scene was first discovered by a six-winged angel in the jungle. A faint surprise flashed across their indifferent face. Then they shouted, "Enemy attack!" Upon hearing this, the other angels on the battlefield instantly reacted. They gathered together, and without hesitation, they swung their angelic swords, unleashing dazzling beams of holy sword light towards the rapidly approaching mountain giants in the distance. Swish, swish, swish. Dense sword light burst forth. The terrifying energy directly distorted the void. This instant shocked all the mountain giants present, including the three leading Saint Rank mountain giants. Their faces were filled with astonishment. Titan Supreme, is this a transcendent level attack? If we didn't know any better, we would think they were all Saint Rank beings. Even if they're not Saint Rank, each and every one of them is invincible as a transcendent. They truly live up to their legendary reputation. As they spoke, the three Saint Rank mountain giants didn't hesitate at all, immediately releasing their own domain worlds. Three tan-colored domains appeared out of thin air, blocking all the incoming beams of holy sword light. Boom, boom, boom. Under the effect of the domain power, these sword lights persisted for several seconds before disintegrating one by one. The group of transcendent-level mountain giants behind them had their faces twisted in fear. If these powerful sword lights were to strike them, they would surely be cut in half. Fortunately, they had three Saint Rank powerhouses leading them. Otherwise, these dozens of people would not be enough to withstand the onslaught of the angels. At the same time, on the jungle battlefield, the angels did not retreat, but instead, they all activated their shields of holy light, preparing to face the upcoming wave head-on. Among them, a six-winged dominion angel suddenly waved the staff in their hand, opening a gate of holy light in midair. Seeing this, the other angels looked at them with puzzled eyes. The six-winged dominion angel explained, "There are three Saint Rank powerhouses in the enemy team. Summoning Lady Angelia here can wipe out all these heretics." Great idea. The angels praised one after another. Soon, as the gate of holy light opened, an elegant and noble figure walked out of the light gate. "Angelia, my lady," they saw an elegant figure walking out of the gate of light. The angels present immediately bowed respectfully, their eyes filled with reverence. Angelia nodded slightly and turned her gaze towards a group of mountain giants flying in the distance. She whispered, "They're quite fast, but unfortunately, they're not demigods." If it were a demigod, she could handle it with some effort. After all, she was now a Saint Rank and had mastered her domain. In an instant, the group of mountain giants arrived about 300 meters away but did not approach any further. Instead, they stopped in mid-air at a height of 100 meters. What kind of skill is that? A teleportation magic array? An interdimensional gate? Whatever skill it is, they've summoned a Saint Rank 8-winged angel. Green Dragon Audrich must have been killed by her. A mid-stage Saint Rank mountain giant said, "This 8-winged angel is only in the early stage of Saint Rank. The three of us should be able to defeat her together." Not necessarily. If it were an ancestral titan, we could definitely handle her with the three of us. Silence fell for a moment. A late-stage Saint Rank mountain giant took a deep breath and said, "Let's talk to her first. If we can't come to an agreement, then we'll fight. Even if it means risking our lives, we must kill her." Agreed. The other two Saint Rank mountain giants also nodded. At this moment, they felt bitter and regretful. If they had known that the enemy was a legendary divine angel, they should have brought more reinforcements. As descendants of the Titans, they never feared battle, nor did they fear death. They were only worried about not being able to solve the problem once and for all. If the enemy's power were to develop, it might not just be a green dragon that would die, but also millions of people in their kingdom. Sir. From a distance of 300 meters away, the late-stage Saint Rank mountain giant thundered. This area is the territory of our mountain giant kingdom. You should not be here. Angelia said calmly, the Supreme Lord, who created the light. Wherever the light shines, it is the domain of the Creator. You heretics, occupying a corner of my Lord's domain to establish a kingdom, shall be punished. Suppressing his anger, the late-stage Saint Rank mountain giant said, as long as your angelic race withdraws from this area, we can pretend that nothing happened, including the destruction of more than 20 affiliated tribes of my kingdom. You insignificant mortals! Angelia descended from the sky, her voice cold. I will give you a chance for self-redemption. Believe in the great Lord of Holy Light, and you shall attain eternal life. The late-stage Saint Rank mountain giant was furious. There was no way to have a proper conversation. These angels were indeed as arrogant and extreme as recorded in ancient texts. In their eyes, all sentient beings who did not believe in the holy light were heretics. Even their descendants with Titan bloodlines were no exception. They were given no face. He roared, Sir, do you want to start a racial war? Countless eons ago, we drove the mighty void demons out of this world, and you angels will be no exception. Angelia's beautiful face turned slightly cold at his words. It seemed that she had thought of something unpleasant and said coldly, Ungrateful insects, you should have been exterminated by those reptiles long ago. If it weren't for the mercy of my Lord. Angelia didn't continue speaking. She reached out her right hand and lightly grabbed the empty space in front of her. Instantly, the space hundreds of meters away trembled violently, as if it was about to collapse. And indeed, in the next moment, that space did collapse. The scene shattered like a broken mirror. Layer after layer of space shattered one after another. The 30 to 40 transcendent realm mountain giants in that area didn't even have time to scream before their towering bodies were cut into pieces by the collapsing space. Damn it! The power of space. She has mastered the domain of space. The three Saint Rank mountain giants were shocked. Originally, their group was spectacular, with nearly 40 people. But in the blink of an eye, only the three of them remained. How could they not feel horrified? Most importantly, the enemy was an 8-winged angel who had mastered the domain of space. This made them even more terrified. The domain of space was far more difficult to comprehend than other domains. Not only was it rare, but its destructive power was also extremely terrifying. Just like the 8-winged angel in front of them, even without releasing her domain, she simply relied on her control over space to kill their subordinates hundreds of meters away. And her speed and attack methods were so fast and bizarre. They hadn't been able to prepare for defense in advance. Fortunately, the three of them were all strong Saint Rank experts and released their own domains as soon as they sensed the danger. Although they were a step too slow and failed to protect those transcendent mountain giants. But at least, the three of them survived. She possesses spatial power and can teleport instantly. Advertisement. Our speed is not as fast as hers. There's no way we can retreat. We can only face this wave head-on. Can we handle it? There's hope. Our chances of victory are as high as 50%. That's good news. The two mid-level Saint Rank mountain giants breathed a sigh of relief. And immediately, their fighting spirit boiled. In the next moment, the three towering Saint Rank giants charged straight towards Angelia and quickly enveloped her with their domain worlds. The domain attribute of the mountain giants. Tenfold increase in strength. And 100 to 1,000 times gravity enhancement. The former allowed their physical strength to increase tenfold. The latter was the passive attack of the intensified gravity within their domain world, imposed on their enemies. Once the enemy entered their domain world, they would immediately be crushed by the terrifying gravity. Those with weaker strength would be crushed into a round ball of flesh on the spot. At this moment, The domain worlds of the three saint-rank giants overlapped. Even a mountain would be compressed into a small hill. However, Angelia, who was within the domain, seemed completely unaffected by gravity. Her clothes fluttered lightly, her expression calm. She has spatial domain protection, standing in another void where gravity has no effect on her. Attack her together, surround her. The three raging saint-rank mountain giants instantly charged towards Angelia. Their weapons were all giant hammers. 10 times the strength, combined with the amplification of gravity. With 3 hammers striking, even the green dragon Audrey would have to die again if she were resurrected. Terrifying energy fluctuations swept over. Ripples like gentle waves surged around Angelia. Just as the mountain giant had said, Angelia's body was protected by spatial power. Those ripples were the manifestation of spatial distortion. Imprisonment. Faced with the violent hammers coming down, Angelia merely extended a slender fingertip and lightly tapped the void in front of her. In an instant, vast spatial power surged out, directly imprisoning the 3 saint-rank mountain giants in place, including the secret gold hammers in their hands. Annihilation. Boom, boom, boom. A series of explosions rang out. The 3 secret gold hammers instantly shattered into pieces, leaving behind the 3 saint-rank mountain giants stiff in place. Unable to move, unable to shout. They could only communicate through their mental consciousness. The 2 mid-level saint-rank mountain giants immediately transmitted their voices to the late-stage saint-rank mountain giant. You said our chances of winning were as high as 50%, but how did we lose instantly? Yeah, I didn't say it wrong. A 50% probability means either victory or defeat. Oh? The 2 saint-rank mountain giants were instantly speechless. If they still had a chance to leave alive, they would definitely join forces to beat up this guy. Just at this moment, a brilliant holy light enveloped the 3 of them. The power of faith contained within the holy light directly invaded their minds and souls. Be careful. This is the faith magic of the angel race. It can force living beings to believe in their Lord of Holy Light. Isn't she a war-type angel? The ancient records state that it is the angels who wield the divine staff that are skilled in faith magic. Why bother with all that? Focus and remain calm. Protect your souls. Even if it's the legendary divine angel, they cannot make us betray the great Titan true God. The 3 saint-rank mountain giants roared madly in their consciousness, attempting to resist the invasion of faith magic with their unyielding will. It must be said, the will of the mountain giants was indeed very firm. Especially towards the Titan ancestors, they were extremely loyal. Even when Angelia took action, it took her a full 3 seconds to purify them. I wanted to kill you, but the great Lord of Holy Light is a kind and loving master. So, I will give you a chance for self-redemption. Return to the giant kingdom and bring back the magic cores stored in your kingdom for my lord. Yes, your holiness. As the power of spatial imprisonment dissipated, the 3 saint-rank mountain giants, who had regained their mobility, immediately knelt in midair without hesitation. Their faces filled with piety and reverence, praising the merciful Creator. After the 3 mountain giant left, Angelia also returned to the jungle battlefield. She collected the corpses of those demons and wild monsters into the belt of the Skeleton King. Unfortunately, the mountain giants were different from the demons and monsters. The energy they contained was a vortex of magic. They did not possess magic cores. Otherwise, if Angelia had just killed dozens of transcendent-level mountain giants, she would have obtained dozens of magic cores. Master! Facing Angelia, all the angels present saluted with great respect. Angelia nodded slightly and said, "Continue hunting in this area. If you encounter danger, you can summon me using the Gate of Holy Light." The Gate of the Divine Domain had just opened. There were not many powerful grand angels under the Lord of Holy Light. When a large number of higher-ranking angels descended, she would not have to run around like this. She could stay by the side of the Lord of Holy Light and protect him. "Yes, Angelia." The angels saluted respectfully once again. Angelia did not stay for long. Her figure disappeared in an instant. This was spatial teleportation, an extension of the ability to control space after mastering spatial power. In addition, there were skills related to space such as spatial confinement and spatial annihilation. The power of space not only had various deceptive attack methods that made it difficult for enemies to defend against, but also had extremely powerful destructive power. At the Saint rank level, mastering spatial power generally meant invincibility. Of course, Angelia was incredibly powerful even without comprehending space. I don't know how long it took. It wasn't until they were hundreds of kilometers away from the incident area that the 3 Saint rank mountain giants stopped. Then, the 2 mid-stage Saint rank mountain giants instinctively attacked the late-stage Saint rank mountain giant. The power of faith did not distort their souls. Setting aside faith, they were still hot-tempered and vengeful mountain giants. Let's beat him with a 50% chance. Damn it! How dare he challenge us? Soon, the 3 mountain giants engaged in a chaotic battle. Like bulldozers, flattening countless mountains. Many ancient trees and a large number of wild monsters were affected. They felt extremely suffocated until death. This chaos lasted until the afternoon before it ended. The 3 mountain giants were left with bruises and limped as they walked. After venting, their mood improved. One of the mid-stage Saint rank mountain giants said, "Our elite squad under our command has all been wiped out. We need to come up with a foolproof reason, otherwise we won't be able to explain it to the elder. Just say that when we were fighting against Aldrich, they were unfortunately killed by dragon breath. That reason definitely won't work." While rubbing his sore arm, the late-stage Saint rank mountain giant said, "If the 3 of us joined forces, it wouldn't be realistic for the elite squad to be wiped out by Aldrich. Furthermore, with our strength, we can definitely kill Aldrich. Now, we have no bodies and we didn't even strip off its dragon skin. We return empty-handed. It will be difficult for the elder to believe what we say." After a moment of silence, he said to one of the mid-level Saint rank mountain giants, "Don't return to the kingdom for now. I will inform the great elder that we were ambushed by Aldrich. It's not just one dragon, there are 3 other Saint rank dragons hidden in its territory." Advertisement. In the process of the battle, you and the elite team all sacrificed. Only Agatiki and I broke through the encirclement. With this explanation, even the great elder will have to believe it. That makes sense. The mid-level Saint rank mountain giant nodded and said, "Then I'll listen to you. The task of the Holy Envoy will be entrusted to the 2 of you. During this time, I will go to other giant tribes and collect all the magic cores they have stored. Although I don't know what the Great Lord of Holy Light will do with the magic cores, the more the better. Praise the Holy Light." The late-stage Saint rank mountain giant looked devout and then said, "The power of faith has made you much smarter. Thank you for the favor of the Lord of Holy Light." The mid-level Saint rank mountain giant was speechless. At this time, the mountain giant named Agatiki frowned and said, "If this reason is presented, the great elder will definitely be very angry. There is a high probability that more powerful individuals from the kingdom will be sent to kill Aldrich. Once they find out that Aldrich has already fallen, we will be exposed." "Don't worry," the late-stage Saint rank mountain giant said. "As long as we are fast enough to get the magic cores stored in the kingdom's treasury, the mission will be considered complete. Even if we are exposed at that time, it doesn't matter. Moreover, we can even join a new team and find a way to bring them to meet the Holy Envoy. By then, they will have the opportunity to embrace the light like us." "That makes sense." Agatiki buzzed and said, "After so many years, miracles have never appeared in this world. Obviously, the Titan true gods have long abandoned our giant race. Embracing the light is the way out for our race. Angels, sacred beings. The legendary god-level race. By following the footsteps of the angel race and believing in the great Lord of Holy Light, we can make our race more glorious. This is also our chance to step into the myriad worlds battlefield and become eternal gods. Praise the Lord." The 2 Saint rank giants nodded in unison. They also hoped that the million giants of the kingdom would all believe in the Lord of Holy Light. It can only be said that the angel race's faith magic is truly terrifying. In fact, the giants are very loyal to the Titan race. Even though the Titan true gods have never appeared in this world, they are still loyal to the Titans. They even built a large number of Titan statues in their kingdom and worshiped them day and night. But the faith magic made them abandon everything they had before. They wholeheartedly embraced the light. This is the terror of the angel race, a race specialized in war and faith, especially in the field of faith. There is basically no race that can compete with the angel race. In the myriad worlds battlefield, the goddess of light is a very powerful god, and her light camp is also a powerful force, with fanatical faith and extreme actions. This is because they inherited the excellent traditions of the angel race. This is something that other races find difficult to achieve. In the territory, the figure of Angelia appeared out of thin air. After separating from the hunting team, she returned directly to the territory. Angelia? Lin Yu was sunbathing on a lounge chair at the entrance of the Hall of the Overlord. Seeing the sudden return of the secretary, he asked in confusion, "Why are you back?" "Reporting to my lord." Angelia recounted what had just happened. "Well done." After listening, Lin Yu's face lit up with joy. Lin Yu is referring to... Angelia dispatched 3 mountain giant followers to steal the magic cores from the giant kingdom. Of course, we can't say steal. Such a great event like world domination cannot be described as stealing. This is a plan of deception. Lin Yu smiled and said, "I believe that the treasury of the giant kingdom must have a large reserve of magic cores." During this period of time, the local forces that were occupied by the Angel Legion did not have any reserves of magic cores, purely because these local forces were too weak. The strongest in the tribe is only at the king level late stage. How can they kill magic beasts that are at least at the transcendent realm? Just like in the Green Dragon's lair, Angelia found dozens of magic cores because the Green Dragon's level is as high as Saint rank, and killing magic beasts is not difficult. In the Giant Kingdom, where the strong are like clouds, for one mission alone, they dispatched 3 Saint rank powerhouses and dozens of transcendent professionals. With such a powerful force, they must have killed a large number of magic beasts. Over time, the Giant Kingdom must have a very large reserve of magic cores. Once this plan succeeds, Lin Yu will have enough magic cores to power the City of Angels. Using the resources of the enemy to attack the enemy? It has to be said, this deal is a sure win. Angelia respectfully said, "My lord is wise. As long as the 3 mountain giant followers bring back the magic cores, the City of Angels will surely sweep through the entire dark forest. In 3 days at most. The City of Angels, built by artisan Angel Coral and Marianne, will be completed. They are now engraving runes for the City of Angels. Once it is built, it will require a huge supply of energy for war. Although the hunting team has been desperately killing magic beasts and collecting magic cores these past few days, the efficiency is not high. Because compared to the monsters that can be seen everywhere, the number of magic beasts is very small. How many can be killed in such a short time? Maybe the City of Angels has already been built, but the number of magic cores collected is not enough to attack the giant kingdom thousands of miles away. Therefore, both Lin Yu and Angelia are looking forward to the 3 Saint rank mountain giants being able to perfectly complete this plan.
Yes.
Lin Yu nodded. Just as he was about to say something, his expression suddenly changed. There was astonishment and also surprise, because a huge source of energy suddenly emerged in his body without any warning. This means that he is about to advance again. Last night, his level reached the king level late stage. Today, an army of up to 80,000 troops in his territory is hunting in the outside world. Not long ago, Angelia even killed dozens of transcendent realm mountain giants in one go. The accumulated primal energy in his body has reached the breakthrough threshold. At the same time, a message from the myriad world's floating island appeared in his mind. "Congratulations, Lin Yu, Overlord. The primal energy you have accumulated has reached the standard for advancing to a transcendent professional. The number of enemies killed by your troops at the transcendent realm exceeds 10. You are about to advance to transcendent." In an instant, a severe pain appeared. It was the primal energy in his body violently tearing his body apart. Skin, flesh, bones, cells, all round strengthening, not leaving a single dead angle. Even that indescribable part is being strengthened in the same way. This process is extremely painful. Fortunately, Lin Yu is already used to it. He gritted his teeth and endured it, not making a sound in front of Angelia. I don't know how long it took. Advertisement. Finally, the pain in his body gradually disappeared. Following that, a gentle force surged through his body, making him feel as if he were drinking sweet spring water, extremely comfortable. At the same time, the aura emanating from Lin Yu's body had become at least 10 times stronger than before. The difference between transcendent and king-level power was very large. The most obvious characteristic was that one could fly, while the other could not. Transcendent, surpassing the ordinary. With just the physical strength, one could roam the clouds, something that ordinary beings could not achieve. Even the powerful king-level experts could only envy and covet. Angelia, who was standing by, smiled and said, "Congratulations, my lord, on your great progress. You are one step closer to becoming a god." Lin Yu grinned, feeling very good. "I finally advanced to transcendent. Angelia, fly with me for a while." "It's my honor." Angelia nodded respectfully. Then, Lin Yu's body slowly floated up, and his speed became faster and faster. In the blink of an eye, he flew hundreds of meters high. Lin Yu stretched out his hands and embraced the gentle breeze blowing towards him. He felt that his body had merged with this world. Even if he did nothing, he would not fall from the sky. It was like a person who could swim could float on the water without sinking. With a thought from Lin Yu, his body flew in the direction he desired. Although it was far from the speed of an angel, it was already quite enjoyable. Moreover, Lin Yu was not using his full strength. If he used the magic power within his body, his flying speed would double and increase dramatically. Soon, Angelia's figure followed. Without hesitation, Lin Yu took Angelia's soft hand and flew straight towards the outside of the territory. Soon, the two flew out of the territory. They arrived at the top of a mountain several tens of kilometers away. Lin Yu stood in the air above the mountain top, overlooking the dense jungle below and the continuous mountain range. He saw his army of troops hunting monsters in the jungle. They were a group of sexy and beautiful dark elves. Each of them wore black leather clothes and shorts, revealing their snow-white long legs. They were like shadows in the forest. Cooperating with each other, they hunted monsters on the battlefield. Lin Yu took a deep breath of fresh air and smiled at the secretary standing beside him, saying, "This is the first time I have left the territory since I came to this world. It feels like freedom. It makes me feel very happy." Angelia let Lin Yu hold her small hand and whispered, "My lord, please wait for a while. Soon, our angel army will be able to conquer this world. At that time, this world, wherever you want to go, you can go. In the future, we will conquer the myriad worlds battlefield and conquer the universe for you. You are the great creator, the creator of holiness and light. Nothing can imprison your figure. I look forward to that day," Lin Yu said with a smile. Then, he held Angelia's hand and flew straight up into the sky. In a short while, the two stood on the clouds thousands of meters high. The high-altitude pressure had no effect on them. Lin Yu looked at the clouds rising and falling around him and sighed, "Before the arrival of the blue star and the miracle, I never thought that humans could reach such a level of power with their own strength. Now, we are only transcendent and saint rank. We can break free from gravity and roam the four corners of the world. It's hard to imagine how powerful the true gods are." But Angelia calmly said, "The gods are just beings of a higher level. We followed your divine oracle and killed countless gods in the name of the holy light. So, my lord, you don't need to envy them. When your divine power is restored, the highest beings will be nothing more than ants before you." Upon hearing this, Lin Yu's expression remained unchanged. But a big symbol appeared in his mind. Once again, Lin Yu circled above the vast jungle. During this time, Lin Yu personally witnessed his secretary, effortlessly slaying several transcendent-level monsters with overwhelming power. Such a scene filled him with envy. Although Lin Yu had already reached the transcendent level, he had no combat experience whatsoever. In a real battle, he wouldn't stand a chance against transcendent monsters. However, Lin Yu didn't mind. As an overlord, he didn't need to personally engage in combat. He just needed to wait to become a god. By becoming a deity and mastering divine power, he would be able to suppress his enemies with that power. It wasn't until Lin Yu had his fill of enjoyment that the two of them returned to their territory. "My lord," Angelia said softly, "I will prepare some hot water for you to wash up." "Good," Lin Yu nodded. During his breakthrough earlier, his clothes had already been soaked with sweat. Although they had dried during their stroll, they still felt uncomfortable on his body. Angelia noticed this as well, so without waiting for Lin Yu to speak, she took the initiative to suggest it. Soon, and had everything prepared. Lin Yu then lay down in the large wooden tub in the bathroom. Angelia picked up the clothes that Lin Yu had thrown to the side, preparing to wash them. She had never done this kind of work before. Angels were sacred beings, untainted by dust. The angelic outfit she wore had the effect of purifying all impurities. Eating, bathing, doing laundry, even sleeping. These mundane daily activities were all very distant to the angelic race. And before this, Lin Yu's clothes had initially been washed by Aida. Then they were changed to six-winged seeker Angel Elena. Now, Angelia took over this task. For Angelia herself, it was her first time doing such a mundane task, yet she strangely felt a sense of enthusiasm. Serving the Lord of Holy Light is the duty of us angels. If those girls knew, they would only envy me. Unfortunately, for now, they can only envy. Just as Lin Yu was comfortably soaking in the bath, the island's chat channel erupted in excitement. All because of a message sent by a professional player. I saw Lin Yu, the boss. He was flying hundreds of meters high in the air, accompanied by an 8-winged angel. This message caused a stir throughout the floating island. This must be fake news. Even if they did see someone, it couldn't possibly be Lin Yu. It's well known that humans, like other intelligent races without wings, can only fly when they reach the transcendent level. No matter how fast Lin Yu's promotion is, it's impossible for him to have reached transcendent already, right? Indeed, it's impossible. The highest-ranked apex-level overlord on the island is only level 5. Compared to transcendent, that's a difference of 6 major realms. If it's true, then the gap between us and Lin Yu is simply insurmountable. On another note, besides Lin Yu, who else would have the qualifications to have an 8-winged angel by their side? Moreover, looking at the entire floating island, only Lin Yu has the angelic race as a unit, right? Are there other male human units in Lin Yu's territory? How is that possible? If it were me, even if they were male human units, I would eliminate them all. Wow, you have a strong killing intent. At that moment, the player who leaked the information spoke up again. I can confirm that it was indeed Lin Yu, because he was wearing our blue star attire, and it looked like a school uniform. A school uniform? Is Lin Yu still a student? That's not strange. The floating island randomly summons humans between the ages of 18 and 40. It's normal for Lin Yu to be a student. That's right, we have several players in our team who are students. Oh my god. I think I've discovered a shocking secret. Could it be that Lin Yu, the boss, is my classmate Lin Yu? I used to think it was just a coincidence of the same name and surname, but now the more I think about it, the more likely it seems. Your classmate? Yes. In our class, there's a person named Lin Yu. Including him, a total of 7 of us were summoned to the floating island. And I finally achieved my dream of becoming the boss of a pig farm. Let's not talk about the others for now. What on earth is a boss of a pig farm? Raising pigs. I had my units capture hundreds of wild boars and raise them in my spirit field. Each one is well fed and plump. And I also discovered a very magical place. Those pigs all obey my commands. Next, I plan to select the most capable pigs and form a wild hunting night legion. Advertisement. Sigh. Impressive. Brother upstairs, you're truly talented. Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk business. Which city are you in? Which school? When we return to Blue Star, we can have a good exchange. Especially those pigs you raise, I'm willing to buy them at a high price. That's none of your business. Do you think I'm stupid? Would I tell you such important information? What if it's really my classmate Lin Yu? If I leak his information and he gets angry and kills me, what should I do? Also, from now on, I refuse to add any friends. Don't try to threaten or entice me. In a certain area of the dark forest, thousands of frost dragons gathered in the air above the jungle. At this moment, they were teaming up to hunt the monsters in the nearby area, with a middle-level village as the center. Lin Yu is actually a student? Inside the territory, Xia Qingyue stared blankly at the information on the island's chat channel, her expression somewhat astonished. In her imagination, Lin Yu should be a well-built, handsome young man. But she didn't expect. He's younger than me. Xia Qingyue's mouth twitched slightly. In Blue Star schools, only students below university level wear school uniforms. So, Lin Yu is most likely a high school student, at most 18 or 19 years old. And she is 23. Naturally, she is older than Lin Yu. A high school student named Lin Yu, one of the second batch of summoned professionals. All this information combined, we will soon be able to find out his specific information and locate him. Although she said that, unfortunately, it was useless, because Lin Yu is still on the island. Who knows if he will return to Blue Star? Even if he does, he will definitely be fully prepared. Most importantly, with Lin Yu's terrifying rate of advancement, he might have already reached the demigod realm by the time he returns to Blue Star. And the strongest professionals on Blue Star are only at the Saint rank level. Returning with demigod level power can only be described as invincible. Searching for Lin Yu's information would be seeking death. Lin Yu's advancement speed is too terrifying. It's hard to believe that he has already reached the transcendent level. Keep in mind that most veteran professionals from a year ago were only at the king level and transcendent level. From what I know, they were stuck because they couldn't complete special kill missions. As a result, their levels were capped. Even some professionals lost hope of progressing and never returned to the island after going back to Blue Star. Xia Qingyue had seen some veteran professionals. They stayed away from the island for several months. In the end, they were stripped of their professional status by the floating island, but their levels and power were not taken away, and they lived a happy and fulfilling life on Blue Star. That's why countless people were looking forward to being summoned. Forget it. Why am I thinking about this? I need to find a way to survive the current crisis. The crisis Xia Qingyue faced was Lin Yu's Angel Legion. If the Angel Legion were to attack, surrendering would be fine. But if they didn't accept surrender, she would be doomed. She glanced at the red mark on her right wrist, and the energy bar was at 65%. I must speed up the hunting and fill up the energy bar. If necessary, I'll just hide back on Blue Star. He won't chase me that far, right? Thinking of this, Xia Qingyue suddenly ignited a glimmer of hope and motivation. However, she didn't know that the cross-border teleportation array to Blue Star had long been broken. She couldn't go back. On the territory's side, in the evening, Lin Yu's army of 80,000 troops returned one after another. They brought back abundant spoils of war for Lin Yu. And a big surprise. Among the many blueprints, there was one for the tavern that Lin Yu currently needed. This meant that his territory could finally be upgraded to a town. Territory upgraded to town requires two key special buildings: clinic and tavern. Lin Yu's territory has already built the clinic, but the tavern blueprint has not dropped for several days. Everything is ready, just lacking the east wind. Now, the east wind has blown, and the upgrade can proceed smoothly. The only thing Lin Yu needs to consider now is that after upgrading to town, his territory will no longer be protected by the floating island rules. Before this, wild monsters and local races would not actively attack his territory. Once upgraded, this rule will be broken. Especially at night, those dense undead creatures will no longer wander around the territory, but will form a large army, surging towards his territory. Lin Yu looked at the tavern blueprint in his hand, emitting a faint golden light. Angelia, with the current strength of our territory, should we have no problem resisting the possible beast tide and the invasion of the local intelligent races? Reporting to my lord, elegant secretarian said respectfully, before the City of Angels is built, as long as it's not a joint attack by those few kingdom-level forces, there shouldn't be a big problem. When the City of Angels is built, with enough sources of energy, even if all 4 kingdoms come together, we will kill as many as come. Now, Lin Yu's territory has the confidence to do so. If it were other overlords, when upgrading to a town, they would only worry about whether they can withstand the beast tide and the attacks of ordinary local forces. And now, the only forces that can threaten Lin Yu's territory are the local kingdoms. It's comforting to hear that. At this moment, Lin Yu didn't hesitate. After coming to the vicinity of the blacksmith workshop building, he found a suitable empty area and used up the tavern blueprint in his hand. In an instant, the blueprint turned into countless golden lights and dissipated. Then, the golden light enveloped the empty area, presenting a building phantom. After a few seconds, the phantom solidified and transformed into a towering building several tens of meters high. Lin Yu looked up. The information about the building appeared in front of him. Tavern. Level. Low level. Capacity. 700 customers. Function. Enhance the prosperity and popularity of the territory. Upgrade requirements. 10,000 units of wood, 5,000 units of stone, 3,000 units of iron ore. Introduction. The tavern is an indispensable building for the territory. It reflects the prosperity of your territory and increases the attractiveness to the local intelligent races and local chambers of commerce. For a territory walking the path of war, a building like the tavern is actually not very useful. Especially for Lin Yu's territory, there is no need to expect the active allegiance or trade cooperation of the local intelligent races or chambers of commerce. Because Lin Yu's territory is developing too fast. It changes completely every day. The speed of active allegiance can't compare to the speed of conquest. In comparison, other overlords will need this kind of building, especially when their territory is in a period of smooth development. The tavern can bring them new development opportunities. For me, the unique use of the tavern is to assist me in upgrading to a town. As he spoke, a message from Myriad World's floating island appeared in Lin Yu's mind. Congratulations, Lin Yu Overlord. Your territory has met all the conditions for upgrading to a town. You can choose to upgrade immediately or temporarily maintain the current level of your territory. Special reminder: once upgraded to town, your territory will no longer receive the protection of the floating island, and your war with the local creatures will fully commence. Advertisement: if your territory is destroyed, you will lose the Overlord profession, and thus transform into a combatant. Overlords are the protagonists of the world domination. Losing the Overlord profession basically means having no relation to world domination. After all, combatants cannot summon troops. In many aspects, they are considered pitiful, unloved, and uncared for. Upgrade the territory. However, Lin Yu did not hesitate and chose the former. Congratulations, Lin Yu, Overlord. You will consume 10,000 units of wood, stone, and iron ore each. Your territory is upgrading. After the information prompt appeared, a dazzling golden light emerged from the void and enveloped Lin Yu's territory. In an instant, the entire territory began to tremble. At the border of the territory, the tall walls were rapidly expanding outward. Wherever they passed, hills, trees, and pits all disappeared. Even the scattered undead skeletons vanished, transforming into a ground paved with large blue stones. The territory was expanding in size, and the walls on all sides were extending outward. In addition, Lin Yu's Hall of the Overlord became larger, taller, and more magnificent. As for the other buildings, there were no significant changes. The distance between the buildings was simply widened, and large open areas appeared nearby, especially in the northeast of the territory. Originally, there was already a vast empty area of tens of kilometers used to build the City of Angels. Now, the empty area in the northeast region became even larger. With a little squeezing and demolishing of nearby buildings, it was no problem to build 3 City of Angels. After a long time, the trembling of the territory finally subsided. The dazzling golden light slowly retracted into the void and disappeared. The upgrade was complete. Compared to before, the territory had greatly increased in size, stretching for dozens of kilometers. Looking down from 1,000 miles high, Lin Yu's territory was like a white jade pearl, embellished among the continuous mountains. As for the territories of other overlords, they were like tiny sesame seeds, difficult to notice. Just at this moment, another information prompt from Myriad World's floating island appeared. Congratulations, Lin Yu, Overlord. Your territory has successfully upgraded to town. You are one step closer to the unification of the floating island. Congratulations, Lin Yu, Overlord. You are the first Overlord to upgrade their territory to town. In recognition of your outstanding performance, you will be rewarded with 3,000 gold coins, 1,000 glory points, and 5,000 reputation points. Your name will shine in the island's chat channel, inspiring other professionals on the island to advance bravely. Special Reminder 1. Nightfall is approaching, and a large-scale gathering of undead creatures is preparing to attack your territory. Special Reminder 2. Due to the sweeping of your army, the local forces within a radius of 150 kilometers feel a strong threat. They are gathering their troops and preparing for a major attack. Special Reminder 3. The Beast Tide is about to appear. Special Reminder 4. The 4 major kingdoms of the Dark Forest have designated your territory as a hostile target. Looking at the series of information prompts appearing in his mind, despite being mentally prepared, Lin Yu was still taken aback. The Beast Tide is coming. The Undead Legion is coming. All the local forces within a radius of 150 kilometers are also gathering, preparing to invade his territory in one fell swoop. Even the 4 major local forces in the Dark Forest, the Giant Kingdom, the Bone Temple, the Elf Garden, and the Naga Kingdom have all listed his territory as hostile targets. This is a signal of all-out war. Even if his territory can withstand the first wave of attacks, the armies of the Beast Tide, the Undead Legion, and those local forces will likely encounter the attacks of the 4 transcendent level forces. In short, in this dark forest, no local force will allow his territory to continue developing. Whether it is the intelligent races or the low-intelligence wild monsters and ordinary undead, they are all under the summoning of the Myriad World's floating island, coming from all directions, until his territory is destroyed, and then they will kill him, the Overlord. In this situation, there is no Overlord profession on the island that can withstand it, even those apex-level Overlords. No wonder the Myriad World's floating island kept reminding before upgrading to a town. Without sufficient strength, upgrading the territory to a town is a dead end. Lin Yu took a deep breath and said to Angelia standing beside him, "Spread the word. The Beast Tide and the Undead Army are coming. Prepare for defense." "Yes, my lord." Angelia immediately went to convey Lin Yu's orders. Soon, the various corps within the territory immediately assembled and quickly dispersed around the territory. An army of 80,000 in size. All of them boarded the 4 walls of the territory. Lin Yu was not idle either. He immediately upgraded the level of the enclosure. The current enclosure of the territory is high level. One more level is the city wall, which requires 30,000 units of wood, 50,000 units of stone, and 20,000 units of iron ore. Lin Yu has so many basic resources that the warehouse cannot hold them. So without hesitation, he directly upgraded it. Soon, the walls of the territory trembled and quickly expanded, becoming wider and higher. In just a short moment, it reached a height of 50 meters and a thickness of nearly 20 meters. Primary city wall, durability of 100,000 points, can ignore attacks from lower-level enemies. In other words, The attacks of low-level monsters cannot break through the wall defense, which means it does not consume durability. But it's not over yet. Relying on his abundant basic resources, Lin Yu upgraded the primary city wall to middle level. Middle level city wall, durability of 300,000 points. It still ignores attacks from lower level enemies, but it also increases resistance to siege weapons. The so-called siege weapons, basically, it refers to magic cannons, catapults, heavy siege crossbows, and so on. These siege weapons have a great destructive power against city defense buildings. With resistance, it means that his city walls can withstand more attacks from siege weapons. At this moment, the middle-level city wall reached a height of 80 meters and a thickness of over 30 meters. Lin Yu did not continue to upgrade, because to upgrade to a high-level city wall, the level of the territory needs to reach the level of a town. Next, Lin Yu consumed a total of about 700,000 units of wood, 500,000 units of stone, and 400,000 units of iron ore to upgrade the more than 500 arrow towers standing on the city walls to middle-level turrets. Middle-level turrets, 5 meters in height and 18 meters in length. Farthest attack range of 30,000 meters. Damage range of 400 meters. The middle-level turrets fire magic shells. Not only is the damage range wide, but the power is also powerful. It is enough to easily kill high-level wild monsters and poses a great threat to king-level monsters. Advertisement. The reason why there was no further upgrade is because upgrading the high-level turret also requires the territory to reach the level of town. Middle-level city wall. Over 500 middle-level turrets, plus an army of 80,000 in scale. As long as it's not the main force of the 4 transcendent level powers, other enemies basically die as many as they come. As he spoke, Lin Yu checked the upgraded territory information. Territory. Level. Low-level town. Unnamed. Overlord. Lin Yu. Territory buildings. Hall of the Overlord. Clinic. Tavern. Dark Elf Mother Tree. Blacksmith Workshop. Watchtower. Spirit Field Level. Level 5. Prosperity. 230,457. Next level. Middle level town. Upgrade conditions dash. Condition 1. Prosperity reaches 50,000. Completed. Condition 2. Own 300 high-level buildings. Completed. Condition 3. 50,000 units of wood, 50,000 units of stone, 50,000 units of iron ore. Completed. Lin Yu pondered for a moment. Then he communicated with Myriad World's floating island and commanded his town to be named Paradise. Congratulations, Lin Yu Overlord. Your territory is officially renamed Paradise Town. When establishing a kingdom power, you can set a brand new name for your territory kingdom. Special reminder 1. Due to your extremely high prestige, the name Paradise Town has already spread throughout the entire Dark Forest and is known by all local powers. Special reminder 2. The majority of local power strongholds have already raised the war banner of Destroy Paradise Town, Restore World Peace. Please be on guard. Upon receiving such information prompts, Lin Yu rolled his eyes. He didn't expect that simply choosing a name would deepen the hatred. Furthermore, what's with this Destroy Paradise Town, Restore World Peace? It's pure slander. And the accusations are too exaggerated. His territory army only swept through the surrounding 100 kilometers of jungle, still far from shaking world peace. Moreover, in a world with decentralized power, where is there any peace? Only when the world is unified and power is concentrated in one point can true peace be achieved. Lin Yu's goal is to seize this one point of power. At that time, under his rule, this floating island will no longer have wars, and that will be world peace. Furthermore, upgrading to middle-level town does not require special buildings. And I have already fulfilled all 3 upgrade conditions. However, Lin Yu did not continue to upgrade. Because once upgraded, the territory's area will further expand. He currently only has an army of 80,000 troops, making it difficult to defend in all directions. Most importantly, even if he upgrades to middle-level town, he still cannot unlock the summoning permission for the 10-winged angels. There are detailed explanations in the exclusive unit summoning information in the Hall of the Overlord. A town-level territory can summon 8-winged angels. A city-level territory can summon 10-winged angels. And when you have a city-level territory and establish a kingdom, you can summon 12-winged angels. Therefore, he doesn't need to rush to upgrade to middle-level town now. He can wait until this wave of war is over, and he has a larger army before upgrading. Now that the territory has completed the upgrade, it's time to summon my 8-winged angel. Full of anticipation, Lin Yu headed straight to the Hall of the Overlord. Just as Lin Yu was heading to the Hall of the Overlord, a golden big character suddenly appeared at the top of the island chat channel. This is a world announcement. Tens of millions of professionals on the island, no matter who they are, as long as they enter the island chat channel, the first thing they will see is it, because it is pinned at the top, shining and dazzling. Island chat channel dash. Congratulations to Overlord Lin Yu for being the first to upgrade his territory to the town level, named Paradise Town. Lin Yu Overlord has opened a new chapter for the professionals on the island and kicked off a full-scale war with the local races. Special rewards for Lin Yu include 3,000 gold coins, 1,000 glory points, and 5,000 reputation points. We hope that the professionals on the island can take Lin Yu Overlord as an example and break through themselves, bravely moving forward. In an instant, the entire chat channel boiled over. Countless professionals were shocked by this. Especially the Overlord professionals, they were all dumbfounded. Up until now, many Overlord professionals have upgraded their territories to middle-level villages. This is because the number of warehouse blueprints being dropped has been increasing. As a result, the prices have also dropped. Previously, it would cost several thousand gold coins, but now it only takes a little over 1,000 gold coins to buy. As for the fence blueprints, they are even cheaper. So, many Overlord professionals have completed the upgrade of their territories to the rank 1 stage. But that's about it. To upgrade their territories to high-level villages, they need the Blacksmith Workshop blueprints. Up until now, there hasn't been any news of any professionals obtaining the Blacksmith Workshop blueprints, which has caused almost all Overlord professionals to be stuck, except for Lin Yu's territory. The territories of various Overlord professionals are mostly middle-level villages or low-level villages. In this situation, Lin Yu actually achieved a major breakthrough, surpassing the villages and owning a town-level territory. The speed of this development can no longer be described as terrifying, it's simply abnormal. In an instant, the island chat channel was filled with countless 666, incredibly strong, and Lin Yu is invincible in other words. So powerful. Another world announcement. No wonder Lin Yu is a great overlord. He has upgraded to a town-level territory. I heard that the fastest previous overlord took 2 months to upgrade to a town level. But Lin Yu, he only took a little over a week. This development speed is simply unbeatable. Paradise Town. This name is very fitting for Lin Yu's exclusive unit, the Angel. Isn't it? In Western mythology, angels were created by God, and the place where God resides is heaven. Is Lin Yu comparing himself to God? That's a bit exaggerated. What's exaggerated about it? If I could summon the giant unit, I would rename my territory Olympus, and I would be the king of the gods, Zeus. I'm planning to name my territory Asgard. Damn, you guys are even more awesome. The name of the territory is actually not important, and they generally have a directional meaning. Like Sikong Jun's Phoenix Village, Xiaqingyue's Dragon's Nest, and the Golden Behemoth Territory's Baiman Temple, just by looking at the name of the territory, you can tell what their exclusive unit is. More exaggerated names include 10,000 Gods Temple, Kingdom of Gods, and so on. In short, there are all kinds of names. As long as the Overlord is willing, even naming it Flower Fruit Mountain Water Curtain Cave is not a problem. Lin Yu's Paradise Town is not surprising. As for the comparing himself to the Western mythological god thing, that is purely the imagination of the professionals. When Lin Yu named his territory Paradise Town, he didn't even think about that. In addition, in the eyes of angels and all believers, he is the Lord of Holy Light, the Supreme Creator, the creator of all things sacred and bright, the origin of everything. Even if he compares himself to God, it doesn't seem to be a big problem. Speaking of which, when Lin Yu's territory is upgraded to town, it will no longer be protected by the floating island. Wild monsters and local intelligent races will actively gather to attack his territory. Advertisement. I don't know how many angels Lin Yu's legion has reached. Can they withstand the onslaught of the beasts and the local army? Lin Yu's angels, there must be at least 20,000 or more, right? Really? Are there so many? My troops are low-level troops. I can summon 5 gold coins, and so far I only have over 2,000. What level are you at that you can compare with Lin Yu? He sells equipment for hundreds of thousands of gold coins. With over 20,000 angels, defending the territory should not be a problem. That's not necessarily true. Don't forget, the Dark Forest has 4 transcendent level local forces, including transcendent and even saint rank powerhouses. There may even be a possibility of a demigod. Demigods, standing at the pinnacle of this world. Once they make a move, Lin Yu's territory will definitely not be able to withstand it. Not to mention demigods, just the saint rank powerhouses who possess domain power are not something any territory at this stage can withstand, not even Lin Yu's territory. Although Lin Yu upgraded the town, it was a big step forward, but at the same time, it also put his territory in a very dangerous situation. One wrong move and his territory will be destroyed, and he will die. After these words were spoken, the professionals in the chat channel were immediately lost in thought. Even many professionals were looking forward to such an outcome. Because for them, Lin Yu's development speed is simply too fast, and the gap between them is getting wider and wider. Even if they try their best, it is difficult to catch up with Lin Yu's shadow. If Lin Yu's territory is not destroyed, they will find it difficult to have a chance to stand out. This includes the overlords who possess apex-level troops. Whether it is the speed of development, the speed of leveling up, or the expansion of troops and legions, Lin Yu has already surpassed them by a long shot, leaving them far behind. In this situation, Lin Yu must encounter some setbacks. Only then will they have a chance to catch up. Of course, if his territory is directly destroyed, that would be even better. Many overlord professionals thought to themselves. Runkle Prairie. The Golden Behemoth overlord looked at the world announcement that appeared at the top of the chat channel and couldn't help but envy it to the point of his eyes turning red. This is the glory he has always dreamed of, but he has never achieved it. On the other hand, in Lin Yu's place, world announcements are as simple as eating. So quickly upgraded to town level. While my territory is still a middle-level village. Comparison is the best way to shock oneself. After comparing, the Golden Behemoth overlord finally realized how big the gap between him and Lin Yu really is. At this moment, the Golden Behemoth overlord felt a deep sense of despair. As an apex-level overlord, he can confidently raise his head and overlook countless professionals. But in front of Lin Yu, he immediately loses his confidence. Once, he had his hands in his pockets and didn't know what a worthy opponent was. Now, he has no confidence at all. Not to mention becoming Lin Yu's rival, even keeping his own life is a problem. After all, he has offended Lin Yu so much. I just hope that Lin Yu's territory will be destroyed by the Beast Tide and the local intelligent races. That would be my unique opportunity. The young man muttered to himself, knowing very well that he cannot defeat Lin Yu. He can only pin his hopes on the local forces, especially the 4 transcendent level forces in the Dark Forest. If they can destroy Lin Yu's territory, then everything will be fine for him. If they can't, then even if his territory is in Runkle Prairie, it will soon be doomed. P.S. I've had a stomachache for 2 days, so painful that my whole body is covered in sweat. I can't stand it anymore. I can't concentrate on writing. Even my fingers typing on the keyboard are trembling. I won't say more. I have to go to the hospital quickly. Thank you all for your support. Hall of the Overlord. Lin Yu opened the island chat channel and took a glance. As he expected, the channel was bustling with activity. The effect of the world announcement was remarkable, and the popularity was unparalleled. Countless professionals were discussing in the chat channel. The topic of discussion quickly shifted from his upgrade to town to whether his territory could withstand the attacks of the beast tide and the local intelligent races. Lin Yu roughly looked through it. He found that about one-third of the professionals had confidence in him. The rest either criticized him or remained neutral. The reason why there were more critics and neutrals was that they all felt Lin Yu had upgraded too early and hadn't established enough power to win this all-out war. A year ago, even the overlords who were the fastest to upgrade to town took 2 months. But Lin Yu only took a little over a week. Where did he get such a foundation in such a short time? How could he withstand the attacks of the beast tide and the local intelligent races? Not to mention, it was currently nighttime. Before the aforementioned enemies arrived, Lin Yu's territory would first face the endless onslaught of the undead army. In the eyes of many professionals, just the undead creatures that appeared tonight were enough to pose a huge threat to Lin Yu's territory. In short, many professionals believed that Lin Yu's territory was doomed. Among them, there were even overlords who claimed to have apex-level units, leading the way. Who can know? The number of my Angel Legion has already exceeded 30,000. And the total size of my territory's unit legion is a whopping 80,000. Plus the middle-level walls and over 500 middle-level turrets. In this situation, if I can't handle the undead army, let alone the beast tide and the armies of the local forces, I think I can just commit suicide. Just at this moment, Lin Yu suddenly noticed the flashing friend request beside him. He casually clicked on it and found that there was a group chat inviting him. The note said, Radiant Alliance, calling Lin Yu boss. Generally speaking, Lin Yu would directly reject such invitations. However, this Radiant Alliance piqued his interest. After thinking for a moment, Lin Yu clicked to accept the invitation. The next moment, a chat channel appeared in front of him. There weren't many members in the channel, only about 30. As soon as he entered, the channel erupted. Damn, the boss really came in. All members of the Radiant Alliance, welcome Lin Yu boss. Below were a series of welcomes. All 30-something Alliance members were excited as if they were injected with chicken blood. At Lin Yu, everyone in this channel is a Radiant Overlord, your staunch supporters. Those guys in the Alliance channel who call us your lackeys are just joking. Do they really need to say it to our faces? Lin Yu boss, our units are all loyal followers of your angels. I have the Radiant Missionary, a middle-level village, with over 600 exclusive units and about 2,000 followers of the local intelligent races. I am a Holy Knight, a middle-level village, with over 500 units and over 1,000 followers of the local intelligent races. I am a Radiant Monk, Fanatic Follower, Red Robe Bishop, Temple Knight. In front of Lin Yu, all 30-something members revealed their cards. Without exception, these members were all Radiant Alliance overlords who desperately wanted Lin Yu's recognition and wanted to follow him. There was no other way. Their Radiant units prayed to the Supreme Creator and the Radiant Goddess all day long, and they regarded Lin Yu's angels as the holy spirits created by the Supreme Creator. In this situation, if they didn't follow Lin Yu, who else could they follow? Lin Yu was their organization. Joining Lin Yu meant returning to the embrace of the organization. Lin Yu looked at his secretary standing beside him, and informed her of the Radiant Alliance message, asking, Are these Radiant Alliance overlords trustworthy? Advertisement. Angelia said, Reporting to my lord, all the creatures of the Radiant Alliance were created by you. You are their creator and the founder of their faith. Lin Yu understood this. As long as they are soldiers of the Radiant Alliance, they are his followers. In simpler terms, they are lackeys. If the Radiant Alliance's overlords choose to oppose him, their soldiers will not spare them. It is highly likely that they will use faith as an excuse to directly eliminate these overlords. That's why these Radiant overlords are eager to join him. In doing so, they are returning to the organization. The probability of being eliminated is greatly reduced. He thought for a moment and casually sent a message to the chat channel. Hello, everyone. Hello, boss. Hello, boss. I understand what you all mean. Develop your territories well. When I establish my kingdom in the Dark Forest, I welcome your joining. Also, if there is any important information, You can post it in this channel. I will read it. Praise the boss. Praise the holy light. Boss is mighty. It feels great to find an organization. Boss, someone spread rumors in the chat channel before. The Golden Behemoth Overlord is the mastermind, and there are others involved. I will send you the list later. Boss, you must hold on. We are all waiting for you to sweep the floating island and become the island lord. If you have any orders, boss, just say it. We will fully cooperate. Lin Yu closed the Radiant Alliance channel. A smile appeared on his increasingly handsome face as he said, "This feeling is quite good." Secretarian guessed the boss's thoughts and respectfully said, "My lord, the floating island is just a fragment of a broken world, and there are still too few creatures of light here. When you go to the myriad worlds battlefield, you will find that your followers are as numerous as the stars in the sky. I look forward to that day." Lin Yu smiled and then communicated with the myriad worlds floating island, opening the summoning black hole. Just now, he had listed the equipment, blueprints, and equipment crafted by the blacksmith workshop on the island trading platform. He earned a total of 346,000 gold coins. Combined with the gains from the legion of his territory soldiers, the total amount of gold coins was nearly 570,000. This amount of gold coins was enough for him to recruit 17 fully equipped small angel legions at once. Soon, numerous angels flew out from the black hole. As usual, the ratio was 2-to-1. 11 holy angel legions. 6 fallen angel legions. In this way, he had a total of 76 fully equipped small angel legions under his command. He could summon 7 8-winged angels. Summoning one 8-winged angel consumes 5,000 gold coins. Lin Yu glanced at the remaining gold coins, still lacking more than 13,000. He then opened more than 20 stronghold treasure chests that he had obtained from capturing local strongholds today. The number of gold coins instantly increased by more than 30,000. It can begin. Lin Yu took a deep breath and opened the summoning black hole again. After a moment, 7 stunning figures flew out from the black hole. 5 8-winged holy angels. 2 8-winged fallen angels. Each angel exuded an extremely powerful aura. Moreover, one of the 8-winged holy angels looked somewhat special. She had a petite and delicate figure, only 1.5 meters tall, wearing a snow-white long dress, standing in midair and holding a short staff. The angel wings on her back were not as large as those of the other holy angels. Her angel wings were short but thick and covered in fur. There were a total of 3 pairs of substantial wings and 1 pair of flowing wings. On her fair forehead, there was a circle of gem chains with a heart-shaped red gem in the middle. Clearly, she was a special angel. Overall, she looked very beautiful and cute. Praise you, great Lord of Holy Light. Thank you for your favor. 7 8-winged angels bowed to Lin Yu in unison. Among them, 5 holy angels crossed their hands and placed them on their full chests. The other 2 8-winged fallen angels knelt before Lin Yu with their divine swords. They had respectful expressions and fanatical eyes. However, they emitted an incredibly terrifying evil aura. As fallen angels, they were indifferent to all living beings. Only in the presence of the Supreme Creator would they show their utmost loyalty and faith, as well as the other side hidden beneath their indifferent faces. Rise. Lin Yu nodded slightly. Then, he checked the information of these 7 8-winged angels. The 2 8-winged fallen angels had all reached the transcendent late stage, only 1 step away from advancing to the saint rank, and their growth potential had reached the peak of the mid-rank god. The 5 8-winged holy angels were at the transcendent early stage, and their growth potential was also at the peak of the mid-rank god. The growth potential of the 7 8-winged angels was the same. Only the initial level of the fallen angels was slightly higher. Among the 4 8-winged holy angels, 1 was a dominion angel, 2 were seeker angels, and 1 was an angel of strength. Among them, the 8-winged dominion angel. Once they broke free from the shackles of their bloodline, they could grow into a 10-winged angel lord. If they could go further, they would become 12-winged seraphim. As for the 8-winged seeker angel and the 8-winged angel of strength, They would have to wait until they grew into 12-winged angels for their titles to become 12-winged wisdom angel and 12-winged throne angel. Seraphim, wisdom angel, and throne angel were the top 3 levels of angels in the Orthodox faction. They were the highest commanders of an angelic army. Above these 3 angel titles were the Archangel and the Grand Archangel. Their numbers were relatively scarce. As Lin Yu expected, the 5th 8-winged holy angel was a special angel. She was the angel of love. She had a petite and lovely figure, looking extremely beautiful and cute. 8-winged angel. Type: angel of love. Initial level: transcendent early stage. Growth potential: peak of the mid-rank god. Possesses divine arts: light of redemption, life resurrection, arrow of love. Introduction: the angel of love is a special angel who does not belong to any faction. They have firm beliefs and are skilled in redemption and the resurrection of life. Angel of love? Lin Yu felt delighted. After summoning the artisan angel and the angel of retribution, he finally summoned another special angel. Lin Yu immediately called the angel of love closer and said, "Tell me specifically about your functions." Reporting to my lord, the angel of love lowered her head slightly, her voice sweet and respectful as she said, "I am skilled in using the power of divine arts to assist the wounded and resurrect the deceased." She was the healer on the battlefield. No wonder she had such a well-endowed figure. Lin Yu glanced at the angel of love's plump chest and then asked, "What is the use of your divine art, arrow of love?" In response, the angel of love answered, "Arrow of love is my exclusive divine art. It can make intelligent beings fall in love with each other. Even if they were enemies before, with the help of the arrow of love, they will abandon hatred, race, and gender, and develop unwavering love for each other." Lin Yu took a deep breath. Abandoning hatred could be understood, but abandoning race and gender to develop love, that was quite intense. Lin Yu found it hard to imagine the earth-shattering scene when the angel of love shot an arrow of love, hitting 2 different races or same as *X beings. That being said, advertisement. Is this not the arrow of Cupid? Lin Yu thought for a moment and said, "From now on, your name is Shirley." Praise the Lord. Thank you for giving me a name. Angel of love, Shirley, was instantly filled with excitement. Her petite and delicate body trembled slightly. Her golden eyes sparkled. She looked just like a cute angel girl who had received a New Year's gift. Next, Lin Yu gave names to 4 other 8-winged god, Saint Emperor angels. As for the remaining 2 8-winged fallen angels, they already had names and didn't need him to give them one. One was called Merstya, and the other was called Afni. With this, Lin Yu had a total of 8 8-winged angels under his command. At this moment, Lin Yu looked at the newly summoned 8-winged fallen angel, Merstya, and Afni. He noticed that the angel wings behind them were similar to those of the holy angels. They were made up of 3 pairs of substantial angel feathers and a pair of flowing light feathers. The difference was that both their angel wings and the pair of flowing light feathers were all black, especially their pair of flowing light feathers, which had a hint of blood in the black color. As the light flowed, it was like dark red blood flowing. You may all step back. Each of you command your legions and prepare for the upcoming war. Yes, great Lord of Holy Light, Creator. The 7 8-winged angels all stepped back. Including the 17 small angel legions that were previously summoned, they dispersed to the walls surrounding the territory under the leadership of the 6-winged angel legion commanders. Now, I have a total of 76 small-scale angel legions under my command. We can form 7 medium-sized angel legions. Each medium-sized angel legion consists of over 5,000 angels. Setting aside the factions of the holy angels and the fallen angels, it was just enough for these 7 8-winged angels to each command one. Next, I only need to summon 4 more small-scale angel legions. Then I can summon another 8-winged angel. Lin Yu was filled with anticipation for each summoning. Especially when summoning high-ranking angels, he hoped to see the appearance of special angels. Just at this moment, there was suddenly a series of rumbling cannon fire and explosions outside, coming from the territory's magic energy cannons. And the target of the bombardment was the approaching undead army. Lin Yu said to his secretary, Angela, who was beside him, Angelia, the war has begun. I need you to oversee the battlefield and guard against possible saint-rank undead powerhouses. Angelia was the strongest angel in his territory. Yes, my lord. Angelia respectfully obeyed the order and gracefully walked out of the hall of the overlord. Then her figure flickered and disappeared. When she reappeared, she was already on the walls of the territory. It could be seen that there were densely packed undead creatures gathered outside the city. So many that it was like an ocean. And the types of undead creatures were no longer limited to ordinary and common ones like skeletal undead, ghouls, zombies, and corpses. There were also a large number of high-level abominations, vampires, headless knights, and other undead creatures on the battlefield. In the sky, there were countless gargoyles, specters, and mirror ghosts. There were even bone dragons and ghost dragons. However, most of them were transcendent level. No saint-rank undead creatures had arrived yet. Overall, the scene was extremely terrifying. The undead army that covered the sky and earth had completely surrounded Lin Yu's territory, giving a shocking feeling of an undead catastrophe sweeping in. If it were any other overlord's territory, it would definitely be reduced to ruins with a single wave of attack.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.